Hello, dear friends. It's time again for another episode of Ek Mulakat. This is the English version of the popular show Ek Mulakat, as you know, where we bring in people and we talk to them about life and success. And when you talk about success, I'm reminded of a quote from a great man. He said, "If you ask me the formula for success, I don't have any. But if you ask me the formula for failure, I have one, and that is to try and please everyone." So there are a lot of things when it comes to success that we need to understand, and the best way to do that is to talk to successful people. And we have here in studio Dr. Diwakar Sukul. He's basically a clinical psychologist, but he's much more than that. And he's the founder of the Campus Clinic in London, which focuses on multidimensional healthcare. He's also, interestingly, the founder of the International Book of Honor and the founder of the World Book of Records. So let us talk to him about his life and what success means to him. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. And personally speaking, I feel myself lucky to, getting a chance to talk to you, because it is said, either you read 100 books or talk to one wise man. And we have a wise man today in the studio in your form. And there are a lot of questions which I wanted to ask you. You are basically a clinical psychologist. And where did your interest in this multi-dimensional healthcare started? What was the significance, and why did you think that you should make this the field of your life?
Very interesting question. I got my basic training done in India, then I moved to UK. And there I also studied hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming.
Okay.
And my interest was in past life regression. It's an interesting journey. The journey started with when I started doing past life regression. I was working with one of the most renowned clinic at that time called Hale Clinic. And when I started really learning more about past life regression, I got interested in the Indian philosophy, because basically, when you talk about the Western psychology, it's more about the rational mind, logical understanding. But we do not have a very deep understanding about the mind and where these memories are stored. What happens when you die? What happens when you take, or you take another birth? Where these memories are stored? And that was basically coming out of India, moving to UK almost 31 years ago, and then learning more about your Indian or Vedic culture. It has opened my eyes towards the ancient wisdom. Because this ancient wisdom, like when we talk about the psychology, in West we talk about psychology as the study of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about mind in the Indian philosophy, they give you how mind functions. And this is what I'm saying, when we talk about mind, it's a recording, there's a power of discrimination and identification. And that's how my journey started into the multidimensional healthcare.
Okay, Dr. Diwakar, as you were talking, I was just reminded of a conversation I had with someone, you can call him an expert, who studied about the conscious, subconscious, unconscious thing of the mind, and which is a big thing nowadays. When you look at YouTube, there you get a lot of videos where people are talking about the subconscious as if that has been their line of study, but I don't know how scientific these thoughts are. The internet is flooded with those things. So would you care to talk about that? What is this, and what does the common man who is watching the show need to know about the conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious, which can help them to solve their day-to-day problems on that context?
See, the conscious mind is like when you're listening to me, and also at the same time, you're connecting with whatever I'm saying. So there's always the power of discrimination. Conscious mind is when you're taking a very rational decision based on what is right, what is profitable, non-profitable. Subconscious mind is, these are the sanskaras or impressions
Okay.
which we receive
This is
throughout
just
our
another
journey.
word for the deep sanskaras that we carry.
We carry these deep sanskaras and everything, because remember that when we talk about the mind, there is a recording. Each and every cell of your body got a recording on its own. So each and
Okay.
every cell of your body got a memory. And there is one memory that has stayed with us. For example, you have a hardware and there is software like a cloud.
Hmm.
And that is where most of the memories in our unconscious mind are stayed.
Okay.
And that's, when we leave the body, at that time we're just taking two things with us. One is the memory, and second is the karma. So it's why it's interesting if you just look at the concept that whatever exists in the universe, it exists within us as well. There is a saying in Brahm Samhita, I believe, that 80% is a dark energy or black energy, 15% is a black energy, like what you talk about, the black holes, etc.
Okay.
And 5% is just the energy which we see. Now,
Oh.
if the same thing exists with us, our conscious mind, they say that is just 5%. 15% is your subconscious mind. 80% is your
80% is
unconscious mind.
unconscious.
And when you relate it with Babaji's darshan, like whatever we are doing in Brahmakumaris, we are working with the sanskaras,
Yes.
because mind
Yes.
is next to your body. And when mind enters with your body, it thinks that the senses are the only thing which we need to satisfy. And it creates more and more impressions, and that's our journey. So whenever, like for example, whenever I met a lot of Brahmakumaris and Kumaris, everyone got a smile because they're not allowing the new sanskaras to take place. And
Okay.
that's why it's important for us to be aware that these impressions, what we are creating in our life, they are the bondage.
Talking about the subconscious, that is the point of focus for all these internet, YouTube video creating influencers. Whatever, you have everything inside your subconscious. You have done everything, you have all the knowledge. Once the subconscious knowledge become available to you, then you will be unstoppable. That is what fascinates me about. So is that true, what they are saying? And is there a way to bring that knowledge so that I can use it and I can just become unstoppable?
So knowledge is always with us. So it's more about like it might be easier for you to connect it with the philosophy like, sun and moon. So we call it Ida and Pingla, and
Okay.
then going to the midbrain, that is
Yes.
what we call Sushumna. That's a wise mind. When you said about wise really means that understanding the left and the right hemisphere, but also
Okay.
the logical and emotional mind, and then have a power of discrimination. So once you understand the power of your subconscious mind, then you are you can have an access, because all of us got a tremendous potential within us.
Mm.
We are a reservoir of energy.
Mm.
So once you have that power to understand your subconscious mind, when you work with the impression and you get rid of some of the limiting beliefs which we have created,
Okay.
that we are just a limiting body,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Or we are this or that. When you start working with it, then you can achieve the freedom and you can be a free person.
Talking about this limiting belief, one another technique which I got from the internet again is, when you fall into sleep, that is the time when the subconscious starts to awaken. So whatever you say repeatedly to yourself just before the time of your sleep, and maybe the early morning time when you just get up from the sleep, these are the two doors to the subconscious: the late evening hours and the early morning hours, or minutes, we can say. So is this true? If we can do some affirmation at these two time periods, can we override the negative, whatever is in there, which is stopping me from achieving whatever I want? Which can probably, people are affirming that, the Lamborghini is coming. So is it really coming when I say that?
It's interesting. I think there are a lot of people, they talked about it like book secret, that your thoughts, whatever
Can
you throw
manifest.
to the universe give it back.
Yes.
And unfortunately, most of the time we are thinking negative.
Yeah.
So your subconscious mind is not only awakened when you go to sleep; it's always there,
It's always
all the
there.
time. Because you see, just think about three layers. Like you have three systems. Like you got a post. So whatever you want to do right now, it's your conscious mind. You have gone through that, it's your subconscious mind. And then whatever you think that you don't need to have an access to, that goes to your unconscious mind. So
Okay.
basically, whenever you're talking about the subconscious mind, always your conscious mind is always working with the subconscious mind anyway.
Okay.
That's why when you go to the bed, I think we have discussed, or we have learned a technique called 3-minute thought analysis.
Okay.
So just close your eyes, set up, for a few minutes, and then pick up a pen and paper. And for 3 minutes, you set up an alarm clock, and then whatever comes into your mind, write it down.
Whatever.
But not get engaged with that thought. So suppose if my mind goes on paper, I just write paper. If it goes on pen, or tomorrow what I have to do, just write down. But the moment, the power, the mind goes where your attention goes. So if you give the attention to your mind towards one particular topic, it will just stay or stuck there. So when you do this 3-minute thought analysis, you'll find something very interesting. Most of us, either we live in the past or we live in the future, right? What past does, it brings a lot of resentment, sometimes bit of happiness, depression, sadness,
Anyway, lot of
etc.
unfinished business.
Right. Future is always related to what's going to happen tomorrow, right? So future creates stress and anxiety.
Yes.
For example, you have to do certain things in your life. So only thing that exists in our life is this present moment. So when you do this 3-minute thought
For example,
analysis,
I have started this, what is going to happen in the future for my business or whatever.
absolutely. So what you need to do, because to have a proper, before like when you're talking about giving instructions to your subconscious mind, you cannot just use these affirmations straight on. What you need to do, put your subconscious mind at rest first. So this 3-minute thought analysis will help you to understand where your mind is in the past or future. Then look at anything that is unresolved, put them at ease, and then do the affirmation. It will be far more effective than just doing the affirmation before you go to bed.
Okay, thanks a lot for that technique. I think you can all take note of that, and this is a technique which we can use, and you're sure that this will do something in our mind and bring that desired thing into our life.
Absolutely.
It can happen.
It's all about trials.
Okay, and another point which came up in the conversation which I just mentioned to you, the person was saying, because normally looking at the internet or reading book, you get an idea that subconscious is the big thing. But this person was saying it is not the subconscious, it's the unconscious which plays the most pivotal role in deciding your life. Whatever is happening to you, it is not just coming from the subconscious, it is coming from the unconscious. What you want is your conscious mind, but what is happening is coming from the unconscious.
So your unconscious mind is, remember, if you watch infant or young child, he's smiling and laughing and crying. Why? Because he hasn't created any impression so far. But it means that we have an access to our unconscious mind somewhere around. So your unconscious mind is the root cause of your suffering.
Okay.
So that's why when you look at that once you start understanding your unconscious mind, because unconscious mind is giving a message to your subconscious mind, and subconscious mind is giving messages to your conscious mind. Now, if we just think about when you go to bed, you can't sleep. And the reason is so many impressions that have been created, they are giving the messages to your subconscious mind, and subconscious mind is telling your conscious mind to really address it. So
Okay.
it's like somebody knocking at your door. So first understanding your subconscious mind and then going deeper into your unconscious mind is the key.
I have heard the same phrase which you just said. It is like somebody knocking on your door. I asked a specific example. I'm asking the same thing to you now.
Sure.
I want a particular car, just for example. This is a worldly example which I'm giving. I don't need, but if I need one and I'm not getting it, the statement was the unconscious doesn't want to give you the car due to some kind of right reason. It doesn't want to give you, and by not giving it to you, this unconscious is trying to take you back and try to join you with the unconscious, with the force that it is. It is calling you to merge with it. I didn't fully understand this statement.
See, again, whatever the beliefs we have created within ourselves, they stay with us. Like a lot of healers, lot of doctors, those who follow very ethical practice, we all suffer from this feeling of guilt that we are charging. And then sometimes wealth doesn't come to them very easily. So what is happening that we are not thinking about the exchange of energy. We are just thinking about something that is like we are charging, or we are taking huge amount of money. Like I sit in the Harley Street, for example. It is like a mecca of medicine in the UK, one of the most expensive streets in the world. But sometimes I struggle with that thought too, because it's like charging the patient huge amount of money for your consultation. It brings that feeling of guilt. So you need to understand that what is stopping you. What are the reasons for you to limit your belief? Because there is one conscious self, what is saying to you, I want this, but why I want it? What it is going to serve to me? What is the purpose behind it?
The unconscious always want to serve a purpose. That is right.
Unconscious is just like a memory.
Okay.
Right? What it does, it gives you the impressions. So your unconscious mind, it's a very interesting. It also has all the potential that you have achieved in your past life.
The center point of your unconscious is just like God. That is another statement. I don't know. It didn't feel believable in the first instance. So I just wanted to, clear it with you.
I don't know whether it is the center point of God or not, because I think God is like we have a concept of Trinity, Brahma,
Yes.
Vishnu, Mahesh, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind, guna, satraj, and tama, for example. But God is beyond. So I
God
don't
is
think that
beyond.
a statement that God is within the unconscious mind possibly is true. But at the same time, we need to, you use the word success. Now, a lot of people want to be successful in
Yes.
their
Yes.
life. But what success is going to give it to you? I remember working with one of my royal patients in Middle East, and she said to me, Princess, she said to me, Dr. Sukul, I just wanted to be a normal person. What does it really mean? When you really think about people, those who are extremely successful or rich, does it make you happy or not? I think success, when you talk about success I can see in the faces like you, where you have that mental peace, tranquility.
You are at peace with yourself.
You're at peace. So it's all about the inner journey
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
If you can achieve this inner bliss, then I think your success, whatever the
You made a very, very important point. I just want to repeat that. We might have different definitions of success. For a person who is riding a two-wheeler, having a four-wheeler can be success. But you just said that being at peace with yourself, if your mind is at peace, then you are successful. Otherwise, it will show on your face and show on your life that you're not happy carrying your life like a burden. Even if you have everything, that cannot be success.
because there is something what we talk about bliss and pleasure. They both are completely different. So you can
Okay.
have all the comforts of the life, but if you
You
don't have
can have
inner
all the
bliss,
pleasures, but you cannot have
that
bliss.
inner peace, it's not worth it. So, in my opinion, we should really think about what can make us happy. Happiness should be the foundation of our life, and happiness is not based on just fulfilling your need or pleasure.
Mm.
Is to achieve that tranquility within you. That is what I call inner bliss or ananda, whatever the name you give. And success should be the byproduct. So most of us,
Mm.
like as a parent, as a
What you are trying to say is not that you first become successful and then you reach bliss. It is the other way around. You
absolutely
should learn to be blissful, and success
will
will be
follow.
an outcome.
Absolutely. We can always achieve that. And that should be our goal, in my opinion. All of us, we should have a goal. Because remember that in all the kingdoms, human is the only one that is sukh dharma. So dharma is your basic, the reason why you're born is to achieve that inner bliss.
Sir, I think it is very significant that people should know this, and your work, if can take people nearer to that, that will be great. And I just want to, before we close, I just want to know from you, what do you do when people come to your clinic? What is this four-dimensional healthcare? Even just explain for the sake of our viewers.
Sure. So when we talk about the well-being or health, it is not one dimensional. So what I have noticed when I used to treat addiction, for example, I used to run one of the Princess Diana's project, and we used to treat patients, and after 3 months they were back. Why? And then I started exploring what is missing.
Mm.
So we understand about mind and body, that your mind and body, they are interconnected. So whatever is happening in your body, it will affect your mind,
And vice
or
versa.
vice versa. But there are two more other things which are very
Okay.
significant. Third is your energy. Like why, when you come to this center, you feel peaceful. Because energy is also a flow. And we know about the chakra, for example, that we have 7 chakras, and your base chakra is the Muladhara, first is your physical energy, but second is the major challenging energy for us that is called Swadhisthana. Swadhisthana really
Is
means
that the same thing what people call the Kundalini?
Kundalini, yeah, we
Okay.
talk about that. But your Swadhisthana, your second chakra, that is sacral chakra, that is your unconscious mind. So it's based on the
So if you
comprehensive
take care of
assessment.
all these aspects, then people will not have to come back
Yeah,
for treatment.
well, it helps us to choose the right kind of healthcare package for them. So it could be the combination of modern medicine to alternative and complementary medicine.
Wonderful, doctor. We can, combine our energies and do something. Brahmakumaris is also envisioning a world what we call the Satyuga after the Kali, a completely positive, pure, pristine world where no negativity exists as such, and where in your language we can call it the subconscious and the unconscious are non-existent. People live only with the conscious energy. All the energies in the unconscious and subconscious get merged in the conscious, and everything else is removed, and ripped off.
You call it oneness.
We call it oneness, right? Yes. So
Beautiful.
that is what we are looking forward to, and your work definitely will contribute a lot to making of that world, I'm sure. Thanks a
We
lot
will,
for
we will.
coming on behalf of all the viewers and everyone in the studio, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So that was Dr. Diwakar Sukul, and dear friends, I enjoyed the conversation. It is not just the ideas and the concepts that were coming, it is the feeling when you talk to someone who are one with the energy, the universal energies. You feel the difference, and that is what I felt. That might be what you have felt also. And so please continue with us in this journey, and knowing about life and knowing about success. Today we got phenomenal insights about success. I want you, if you're watching in YouTube, go back and watch it again, and so that these ideas sink in, which will help us in our journey forward. That is the purpose of this show. Be with us. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the studio.